What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S. Saturday edition. Going going crazy in the last couple of weeks, man. As this first week of real summer has just started, schedules changing. More afternoon shows, along with more shows probably being added in general as we get move into the off season, headed into football season. Um, just crazy things going on, man. Like one of these days, I'm gonna just do a healthy rant show where we just come in and talk like a true MFTK show. Because boy, when I tell you this year right here, MFTK. So far, MFTK. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Appreciate you guys. Please continue to function in the chat. It helps with the algorithm. While you're getting into here, please make sure you like the show while we're also on. Do me a favor and just take the YouTube link or take the Twitter link and just do a quick share as well. That all of those different things help help the show, help it grow. As we grow, as the channel grows, more things for everybody else. Like I said, man, really greatly appreciate the support over the years. Want people to continue to still support it and hope that it continues to grow as well. So outside of that, I'm about to do my shares myself. I can't ask you guys to do something that I don't do on my own. Comments anywhere, YouTube, Twitter, any of those things, definitely would much rather prefer the YouTube. As we get to each increment of 1,000, we do cash giveaways. All of those things. Oh, shout out. Well, I don't think All Dubs is new, but I think he just renewed it. But appreciate that, All Dubs. Shoot. Outside of that, let's start the show off the way we always started, with a word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Hey man, one thing before we get James, I just realized: have you ever had a blister on your foot?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like it's like on my right, like it's like the whole top of the ball of my foot, and there's one under my middle toe on my left. This shit hurts. Well, yeah, because don't walk far. Don't walk far from in Crocs. They're not designed for that right now. I've been getting after it this month. I have 30, I guess 30 kilometers. Is that what it is? I've walked the equivalent just in this month. So I was trying to get 4 miles a day, but the last 2 days I couldn't do it. My foot said no. We're on break. So I got to get this blister off, and then we'll get back into the fold. But what's going on, Jaden, man? What we talking about today?
All right, so today on the afternoon edition of Big Games BS, where we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world to your sports screen. So today is June 7th, and we got some things to discuss. First things first, have some FSU news. I feel like we're going to spend a bulk of our conversation on FSU and specifically the college section. Then we got some more things to discuss with that. Then we transition to the NFL, starting with the home team, Jaguars. Then we're going to LA to talk about an NIL, and obviously the biggest news that happened this past week was Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers. We'll touch a few more topics after that in the NFL while we transition to the Big Games BS. Have some fun topics in there as well. Don't want to spoil them right now, but first things first, James, I feel like this is a topic of discussion around FSU specifically. And man, oh man, I can't wait to hear your opinion on the 5-star quarterback, Houston commit Keyshawn Henderson shutting down his recruitment and canceling his official visit to FSU. The FSU fans on Twitter were grilling Mike. Contract talk got brought up again, wanted to fire Mike again because his recruiting is not up to par as what people would expect, James. So I know you have ties with the school. Can't say too much. Can't be too much of an MFTK moment. But I just want to hear your opinion on this recruitment situation and Norvell's overall recruiting scheme and effectiveness.
Well, I mean, one, he's cool. Like, he's got the you didn't go to no, Jaden, you didn't go to Battle Miami, right?
No.
I'm trying to think. He's kind of cool in the 707. So he has like a Davy Boone hat, like the cone, the squirrel hat, whatever. Good athlete, guys. I was talking to the Spaces. I believe it was Thursday, and because I believe that's when he shut it down when he said he wasn't coming. And we had a big recruiting weekend this weekend, and shout out to one of my guys, Eric Thomas. I may even try to see if I can't get them on to do a special show because they're coming from Arizona. Legacy Legacy recruit. This kid has been committed to Houston for quite some time. And this was more of us trying to make a big push to get in. So he was never committed to us. He didn't want to go on the visit. So I mean that happens, man. I know nobody wants to hear this, but Florida State, and it's not fair because other schools seem to just have a more clean and they seem to have more traction when it comes to recruiting. Even when they don't. But we're not gonna get a splash unless it's a true legacy or a kid who's just a fan until we actually put a product out there. So one of the things like people, and it's not fair because just shows people don't know ball. And I have to break it down to them that they're variations of the same. So Gus Malzahn is not going to attract a quarterback in this manner because what's out there is that Gus Malzahn is a run first coordinator and is scramble around, run around, and then throw the ball. And I can see how people can kind of come to that because he hasn't had a big name QB that's gone there and stuck. I mean, when you really think about it, you look at Joey Gatewood, was a 5-star. You look at a lot of other guys, and it just doesn't. We didn't get the OC that sparks. Oh my God, I got to play for him. Now, had we gotten like a Brendan Marion, who everybody loved to talk about toward the end, but that's the guy we talked about on the show all year. That's Buddy with the chest. Out at UNLV, he's not a head coach of Sacramento State, but people aren't smart enough to realize who influenced Brendan Marion. Who was his coach? Who are his coaches at Tulsa? Mike Norvell and Gus Malzahn. Who was the person that gave Brendan Marion one of his first coaching jobs? Mike Norvell is a what do you call it? Is a student of Gus Malzahn. And again, I think they'll have success because UCF had a top 15 offense last year. Wasn't the best throwing offense, but they did run the ball very well. And that's what you got to ask Florida State to do. Win the games that you're supposed to win and win the game you're not supposed to win, or at best, or at worst, make the shit competitive so that you actually have something to sell to make this young man excited, because he's going to go to Houston, hometown, and put on for the city, which is going to make him more money in the long run in terms of NIL. So when the fans get mad in June about this. Let me go back and educate you guys. You know what Florida State had last year? We was hot as fuck last June. And you know what happened in November? That bitch crumbled. So right now, we got to worry about, did they pick the right guys in the transfer portal? Do they have the right guys that are going to help build the program and that can come in and play right away? Or, because again, even in this situation right here, what I do know about Florida State's situation is bringing him in, he ain't going to be the starting quarterback in 2020 and 2026. But I do know if you go and he ain't that good. I can promise you that. I've seen him play in the 7-on-7 circuits. Very talented. But you need linemen, you need wide receivers that can come in and play. You have bigger needs than this, and you also you got to have success at 8-5 minimum, probably 9 wins. 10 wins completely changes the narrative. I can't come around here and show you the 10, but I'm just telling you what it would do. And then you have to go back and you have to re-recruit the Thomas Castellanos, the Deuce Robinsons, a lot of the guys that are going to be on the roster that are going to be imperative for them to be able to get us over that hump. But this right here, what y'all are doing on social media for Florida State fans, what you're doing is you're trying to make the dozens easy for you. What the dozens is what we used to call, that's cracking on each other. Sitting in the cafeteria, saying I'm ugly ain't going to stop them from saying you ugly. And it ain't going to make it feel no better. Y'all are trying to troll yourselves, and it's not making it's not making a strong case. On top of, as I've always said, I think our media does a really piss poor job of making us see like we have a true lack of motion. Because I really don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really follow a lot of this stuff. But I think our recruiting is about where it needs to, about where I can assume it would be after going 2-10. Can we pull up where we're at? I know are we going to talk a little bit more recruiting, Jaden, from the weekend, or was this the only thing?
I just had one more picture, but what did you want me to pull up?
No, I want to pull up the two. Let's use 247 is the one that most of us kind of like. On 3 is kind of bullshit, but they're going to use ESPN rankings in a minute. But pull up Florida 247 team rankings, and let's just. I mean, are we really as bad as what everybody? I mean, because I don't know. We could be. Because I like to look at it, and then I like to see who are we being like. All right, so you're gonna sign 30 in a class. God damn, Texas is barbecuing. Like Texas, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oregon, doing the shit that we're used to them doing. All have 20 plus commits. USC is one of them schools that's going to recruit well regardless. Miami's at 14 with 21 recruits. Oh, this is my bad. I'm looking at last year. We got to look for 2026. My bad. I'm looking at, but still, USC is got a damn near fucking full class. Notre Dame does their thing. Clemson's moving is getting back in recruiting. Penn State James Franklin does a pretty damn good job recruiting. Like right now, number 10, Louisville, right? You know where Louisville's not going to be when it's all said and done? Same thing with Kansas at 13. Illinois has done a really good job. They got a 4-star. I think their 2 4-stars are from Florida. That are the commits. North Carolina's doing good. Syracuse is doing good. Florida State is at 27 with 9 commits. You know who's in front of Florida State right now? Tennessee. You know where Florida State and Tennessee aren't going to be at that ranking? Texas is at 30 right now. You think Texas fans are rioting and complaining? Auburn's at 37. I can promise you they're going to be higher. Michigan's at 41. OU just pulled in a 4-star, and they're at 43. Bama's at 5. Alabama's at 5. Whoa. It's almost like we just really don't like where we're at right now, and we're sitting here looking for every reason to bitch and complain. And I'm not telling you you're wrong, but what I'm telling you is it's fucking June, and it's still early. There's still a lot of guys out there, and you don't look like you have traction because every fucking thing that you read, everything you're consuming is telling you that. And if we haven't learned anything from this new cycle and this new stuff, man, stop believing everything you fucking read, bro. You know who's not going to finish ahead of us in recruiting? I'm willing to bet my mortgage Boston College. They're at 22 right now. I would say Syracuse, but that coach is doing pretty damn good. He's figuring it out. Arizona State, North Carolina, teams that are Miami's only got 11 commits. They're top 12, but like they're getting guys on. Here's the difference. Miami's getting guys. I thought Miami had more commits than that. Miami and Florida getting guys on campus. Because where's Florida at? Florida is, I thought Florida was ranked higher. So Miami's at 12. Florida State's at, no, my bad. Did I go back to 2015? 2020? No. Yeah, shit. Hold on, man. Let our fan base tell us. Wait a minute. No, I got to be wrong. Am I missing Florida? I know Florida's not on low more. Yep, Florida's at 63, dog. Like, what are we doing? All schools that we say they recruit so much better. Miami's in front of us. Miami has more commits, and they've had people. We get 5 stars on campus. We get guys on campus. Our people complain. Like, guys, I swear to God, I promise you, I thought we were in a much worse situation, like, than what we are right now. Like, this is why you can't pay attention to social media. You can't try to follow news through social media because it sometimes blurs the facts. Hey, my bad. What else we got, Jay? Okay. Now that I'm fuck it. I'll be over there tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk to him, get some more insight. But like, I thought it was way worse than what we were. I thought we were like in the 60s or something.
So this is one of the pictures taken. This was taken yesterday around 10 a.m. of a legacy. You got Auburn commit Devin Carter, and you see his pops, FSU legend Dexter in the back taking that picture behind him, and Mike Norvell. So this was the second thing I had for the FSU football / recruiting talk, James. So love to see that legacy and hope he flips his commitment.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but it could. I was in again in the same spaces I was talking about Devlin, and it is a really easy way to make sure we lock the Carters in, and it's following the same path that Dion laid out for us. What did Dion do this past spring? He put one guy who was deserving just too early. You don't do it that early. And another guy, I mean, fine. If y'all want to say Shadur was worthy, I'm not going to argue with you. I think there are other people in Colorado history that probably should have been uplifted before that. That's just my opinion. Dexter Carter deserves to be in FSU's Hall of Fame. You can't just go look up his stats now compared to what today's game is. But when he got done playing, he's one of 4 Florida State running backs that were drafted in the first round. His stats were really, really good, and like it still are good. But now when you got like, what was it? He played in the 80s, so I'm 40. You got almost damn 4 decades removed. The game is fucking changed. They play more games now, but I'm doing this for us to win. Like I say it on the show all the time. $250,000, let me work from home. I'll get it and turn your back. Tell me who you want, turn your back. Or if I gotta move back home, I'm willing to move back to Tallahassee. I'm probably gonna need some help next year. I ain't really mad at it, but it's gonna cost you more money for me to move back home because I got things I gotta give up if we do that. But I'll tell you some good things. Cheat. Make Dexter a Hall of Famer. That should have been the weekend he's doing his official visit. Honor that man, Dad. But we already put out who the Hall of Fame class is for this year. But like, and I think we putting guys in the Hall of Fame. It might be too early to put them in the Hall of Fame. Put Dexter ass in the Hall of Fame. I told him what to do with Monster. Shout out to anybody who's in Miami area. They're doing a funeral or a homegoing for Monster in Miami next Saturday. I think they're gonna do one here in Jacksonville, just like a memorial or something. But like, you got like make a highlight film of his dad's plays. Like y'all gotta chill. We got so many legacies that kind of check the boxes that our recruiting could be easier. It could be easier. You want me the common sense traits? Like, let me go look at if we go back and we look at this stuff, right? I'm gonna go look at Florida State. No, not Florida State, because we haven't recruited well in people's eyes. Damn, this shit ain't really going. Anyway, I say it all the time. There's people that how many of you guys remember can remember the play that Marcelo Church made? Any Florida State fans know Marcelo Church? In the comments, is anybody just tell me if you just anybody can say if you know Church Boy, cool. If you know him without looking him up, just tell me, what play y'all remember Church Boy making. Or I'll give you one shit. Man, I'm trying to think of somebody else. Again, a lot of people didn't know who Eric Thomas was. But you're not going to remember most of these recruits. And most of the recruits, when you sign 30, they're not going to make a play that you remember. In that class, if you have 5 to 6 guys that are those dudes, you have effectively signed a great class. Because again, if you have 5 to 7 people get drafted, you had a good year. You don't have those 10 plus guys get drafted every year. That's like that's unsustainable because you're losing too much talent at that point. So what I'm saying is start with legacies. I like AJ. Like I'm gonna use the Cromarties because he's got a good amount of legacies coming up. But if you sign AJ, sign his brother in this class. He's got the measurables. He's got the pedigree. Next year's class, they got a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver out of San Diego. That's pretty damn good. That can go make plays. Go ahead and get low-hanging fruit, right? And start listening to some of the other guys. Like, again, man, this shit ain't. A lot of the time, when I was telling them, we're getting beat before we even get an opportunity to put money on the table. We're not losing guys just because of money. That's probably a negotiation thing. We have our price, but some of the things we're getting beat before we even get a chance to get to the bread. And hey, but I think some of these guys is more than money to them. Like there's a legacy. Paul out of Lincoln is a legacy that we haven't even recruited. He's a 3-star. Maybe you can get better, but we're not in a position right now to sign a over 50-50 blue chip ratio. And that's like if we sign 30, we sign at 15, 4 and 5 stars. Like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Go ahead and make your 10 the 15 3-stars be guys that you know are going to stick and that are going to develop, and then really go shoot your shots at others, man. That's just free game by big game. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Might be oversimplification, but I would like Carter to come back. He was the first commit for this class before he decommitted.
Moving on from football, we have some basketball talk surrounding FSU. So we have a new signee for FSU hoops. Huge shout out to Shaheed Muhammad, 6'10" forward, hailing from Queens, New York. Shout out to Queens, and he was at UMass. And then before that, he was at Seton Hall. So huge shout out to Shaheed Muhammad, adding size to that FSU hoops squad. Next thing we have to discuss is some news surrounding the NCAA. So, the NCAA are now free to begin paying their athletes directly, making dawn of a new era in college sports, brought about by a multi-billion-dollar legal settlement that was approved this past Friday, according to the ESPN's NFL insider Adam Schefter. James, how monumental is this for the NCAA to directly pay / employ their athletes?
Well, I mean, now you can clean it up a little bit more now. I still don't think it's going to happen the way that people think it's going to happen. But now you can probably, now that they're employees, you could come and you could go do a CBA, or you can treat them like employees. So like if I'm paying you like an employee, you get so many sick days, you get so many, like I can fine you, which they were already doing for some of these guys. There are things that I can do now to regulate the system, but it still doesn't take away NIL. But it might make NIL be a little bit more what it's supposed to be is in terms of marketing. But I promise you, and y'all people don't like the way I say it, but the ability to buy people is the American way. People are going to figure out how to buy people still. So if you think that, let's say the House settlement says it's 20.5 million is the salary cap. If you think the University of Miami, who already spends 30 million or whatever, I'm just using them as an example. I don't know exactly what Miami spends. But if you think I've been spending 30 million and I'm going to stop spending 30 million, you got another thing coming, bro. I got a bridge to sell you. I got a oceanfront property in Nebraska to give you. If you think that that's going to happen, all it's going to do is probably shift things back to the way it was. And I think, again, I think it's great that guys are getting paid. I'm all for it. I don't think there's anything that we should do about it besides be transparent. But they did do something else, though, that came with the NCAA. I don't know if you saw that. Did I send that to you? I want to see if I sent it. Where they have now hired a college football, like basically a CEO for college football. Hold on, let me try to see if I can go find.
So they can get an NIL check plus the NCAA check above the board, above the table?
Yes. Okay. You can now. So NIL checks and a check from the school.
What might that mean for like health insurance, or do they already get
They got to provide that.
Yeah, right.
You got to provide health insurance. You got to provide, that's what it is. You have to provide health insurance, workman's constipation. So like for example, I have those concussions. It's setting up this NCAA like down the road for some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that now.
But like, so I scored a touchdown against North Carolina State, and I jumped over the top of the pile. They caught my feet, and then I landed head first into the end zone. Like all my body, like how the cartoons, and I just dropped, boom, and my body was like straight up, and then my legs eventually fell down. And I've had neck issues since then, migraines. That was the first real concussion I can remember. As I joke and say, I never had a concussion I can remember. But like I would probably be able to go get money from that. So
Would a scenario ever happen like when you broke your hand and you decided to go back in, where a player might be like, "Well, if I decide to go back in, that's going to look bad against the case if I'm trying to get workers' comp."
nah, that'll look better for you. If anything, the schools will start taking more care.
Mm,
Because if I make you go back in, you were cleared. And
true.
that means, but if it gets like down the road, like I have arthritis or I have this, you'll be able to make claims. But yeah, so they'll be treated like employees, and there are things they gotta pay, and now they'll have real taxes, which again, this is where I will say 4.5, 4.7 was making a good point. Florida State has a natural, the Florida schools, the Texas schools, the Nevada schools. I'm trying to think who else doesn't have state tax. But like we all have
Tennessee.
a you said who?
I think Tennessee doesn't have state taxes.
Tennessee. Like we have a natural advantage against all of these guys because we don't have state tax. So if we're all agreeing to a $20 million whatever salary cap, that Florida money go a lot longer than the Alabama money. So they would have to but there is a way they can figure it out. Just make it all federal, or make the headquarters of make it all payments are headquartered through X amount. But there's again, when you try to pull one string, it just makes it even harder. Like these guys got an uphill battle. But I'm just pro players getting paid. I want players getting paid.
This is what you were referring to earlier. Brian Seeley, the new CEO of the College Sports Commission, and this is what he had to say, quote, "I am honored to serve as the first CEO of the College Sports Commission at this pivotal moment in the history of college athletics. I look forward to implementing a system that prioritizes fairness, integrity, and opportunity while preserving the values that make college sports unique. I'm energized by the work ahead and excited to begin building out our team."
Brian Seeley is a former MLB executive. So he used to being in sports and doing all these different things. So it's going to be interesting to see where college football shifts. But I'm all for it. Get paid, get it organized, just play the games on Saturdays.
Speaking of shifting, this Miami strength and conditioning coach is shifting his occupation from Miami to elsewhere. And James, the internet took no time to start grilling this man. So I'm going to read you what Aaron Feld had to say. And here we go. Quote, "Thank you to the University of Miami and the Hurricane football program for a great run. I have nothing but love and respect for this team. This was a tough decision to have to make, but ultimately the choice was clear. At the end of the day, my wife and kids deserve more from me than my circumstances allowed. So the only course of action was to change my circumstances. Failing as a husband and a father will never be an option. Developing a world-class performance team at the U will always be a highlight of my career, and I'm leaving the Canes football program in extremely capable hands. I have no doubt they will continue to lead the profession and have great success. To the players, I love you guys. Serving you every day has made me a better husband, father, and coach. For that, I will never be able to thank you enough. Remember, no individual is more important than the team. Stick together and finish what you started. Who is the team? You are. The best is ahead." I guess the team didn't make him that much of a better husband, James. If he's
Yeah, I'm saying I'm so confused. You know what? They say you shouldn't. They say anytime you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? So you should never make assumptions. That being said, we can kind of form opinions and gain insights based upon past behaviors. And this man got caught fucking. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Remember Chicago Bears? You remember Chicago Bears that we talked about on the show? The D coordinator, like he stepped down because, like, and then we end up finding out, like, oh, he was cheating on his wife. Why is this always the first move? Like, I get it. Like, you got caught, and you get caught up, and I don't judge this stuff like other people judge it. The man's working 15, 16-hour shifts, man. And he's probably just banging somebody on staff. And I personally, he probably does love his wife. He probably does love, I'm sure he loves his children. And you know what they loved? The fact that he probably made close to $500,000 a year and he was bringing the check in and it was getting free gear and all this other cool shit that comes with being a coach at a top program. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm not here for that. What I'm saying is how is not working helping the situation? Because if anybody can explain that to me, we saw with what was the guy's name? We won the D coordinator we won a natty with under Jimbo. Pruitt got caught up. Pruitt went and got engaged. Jeremy Pruitt went and got engaged, and that's the worst thing you can do in Tallahassee, Florida. When you're coaching the college team and again, man, he was smashing everything walking. Old lady said, "No, we're not doing this." So they went to Georgia, which is tough, but he had some men around him that she felt more comfortable with, that he wouldn't make, so they would call him out on some of his decisions, maybe. But she was smart enough to know where the bread was buttered. We're not gonna fire this guy. I don't want him to quit. Because again, I don't know how this helps. Now it's gonna be a bunch of awkward silence. I'm sure Mario could have given him some hours to be able to go get some counseling with his family or whatever. But I know Miami fans we're not a big fan of their strength and conditioning coach. The beard is a little bit, not beard, the mustache is a little weird. That's a lot.
So it's funny you mentioned that, James. Stay in the ACC last week, or I think it was, earlier this past week, we decided to take a look back, take a blast from the past, and look at some retro logos. We did it for the SEC, and we're going to do it for the ACC and the Big 12 today. But, James, you cannot pick FSU's for this one for your best/favorite logo because of the bias. So let's get into which ACC team has the best retro logo. I'll read the teams from the top left to the bottom right corner. You have Clemson, North Carolina, Miami, that looks like Virginia, Florida State, Louisville, Syracuse, NC State, Georgia Tech, Cal, SMU, Boston College, Stanford, Pitt, Duke, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest.
Who's the what?
The bear on the second from the bottom on the left.
That's Cal.
Cal.
That one could be a logo today.
I like Louisville's. I do remember. I like NC State's. I like the old school Miami logo, old school Carolina logo. I don't like Virginia Tech's.
That Blue Devil is kind of scary.
Yeah. And that without me picking FSU, yeah, those would be the ones that I like the most. The Syracuse orange man looks weird.
Yeah.
All right, so you locked in your picks for the ACC. Now it's time to make some more picks for the Big 12. I'll be reading the teams again. So you got West Virginia, Arizona, Iowa State, UCF, Texas Tech, Colorado, TCU, Baylor, Arizona State, BYU, Oklahoma, is that OSU right there? Houston, Kansas State, Utah, Kansas, and the last one, I'm trying to figure out who that is, but I'll look up the last one as well. So, James, from this list, what is your favorite logo?
Oh, Arizona State would be mine. Um, Oklahoma State would be two. I like that Buff. I like Colorado as well. I just couldn't rock BYU, but like that's a fly logo though.
And that last team is Cincinnati. Apologies.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, like it's sometimes you gotta go back. You gotta go back to retro act.
Yep, I agree with you. Those logos you picked are fire, nevertheless. And speaking of the Big 12, huge shout out to Texas Tech. Even though they lost the softball World Series final, their pitcher is doing phenomenal things. Huge shout out to Miss Kennedy because she was the first ever softball player to receive $1 million NIL deal. It was $1,050,024 to be exact. 1 million as the base, 50,000 for living expenses, and 24 to represent her college number. Even though they lost to the final against Texas, they made it. That was their first time making it to the final in program history. And they decided to re-up with Miss Kennedy. So she would make at least $1.2 million in her year 2 deal with the famous NIL Texas Tech collective, the Matador Club. She recorded 317 strikeouts and she led the nation in ERA with 0.97. So she earns our money move segment of the day. Keep doing your thing, Miss Kennedy. Keep doing your thing.
I hope she gets a little bit more than that though. Like, I mean, the price of a brick got to go up, right? It's your first time ever doing anything. I clearly am why you're here. She doesn't beat Florida. Well, Texas Tech doesn't beat Florida State without her. I mean, she was throwing gas, man. And it's not like they can't market her a little bit better. Like she's now. Did you see Texas picture? Pretty, pretty. I like the young lady right here. She's like I watched the game yesterday. It was a good game. I was mad. I wanted her to win, but you know Texas when they pulled her, Texas rocked whoever there was. I think it was about in the fifth. They rocked that person, scored like 5 runs.
Huge shout out to Miss Kennedy and congratulations to Texas for winning that softball national championship. It is no easy feat. And with that, that concludes our college segment. So let's get into some NFL talk. And we're going to start with the home team, of course. So Hard Rock Bet recently put out the odds for these 4 following bets. So the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl, Jaguars versus Commanders, exact Super Bowl matchup. Jags to win the AFC, and Travis Hunter to win both offensive and defensive rookie of the year. So let's get into these fun bets. So you can see right here, this is for the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl. You see plus 10,000 odds, James. I know
Yeah, not enough.
That not enough. You think it should be higher than that, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking like if I gotta put 250 down to get 25,000, great ROI. But I just think that's what $25 should get me that with the Jags. Yeah. Like I have no faith in the Jags getting. I mean, I got faith the Jags are gonna be better, but like the Super Bowl is that's a woo. Oh yeah, that's to win the Super Bowl. Ooh, tough. Person's bold.
So next we have the Jaguars versus the Commanders as the Super Bowl matchup. This is plus 50,000 because predicting both teams is a little bit more difficult. So if you bet $100, you would have a payout of $50,100.
Did something happen to the Eagles?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's very specific, man.
Oh my gosh, the NFL will be so mad.
Yeah, that
For the
person.
Jaguars Commanders. Super
So
Bowl.
this one is a little bit more on the reasonable side out of all of these bets right here, but it is the Jags to win the AFC. I know it's a little bit out there, but out of all these, I feel like this is the most reasonable. So this has an odds of plus 5,000. So turning that 125 into $6,375 payout. And next, James, you have Travis Hunter winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year, something I think is very hard. And I think that plus 4,000 should be a little bit higher as well. So
Yeah.
that wager would be 200 to 8,200 because I don't think he's going to get the snaps people are expecting him to take on that defensive end. So thus making it harder for him to get that Rookie of the Year. But James, could you see a world where he could possibly win both?
Yeah.
Okay.
800. I'm gonna tell you exactly how you get 4 interceptions, get some defensive rookie of the year. 800 yards, 6 touchdowns, get some offensive rookie of the year. And you know why? Because we with Travis Hunter, we was the first time we ever used a stat that found this useless stat that we don't use for anybody else that we talked about on the show. They talked about Travis Hunter, they talk about how many plays. Like being able to play both sides is what is the real intrigue with all of that. And he'd be the first person, said the first person to ever do it, but the quote unquote first person to primarily do it on both sides. And he has the potential to be the first person to win the Heisman, to win both. You trust me, that's going to be a storyline if he's doing pretty good in the beginning for the NFL the entire season. So they're going to push it toward that because it's going to put butts in seats and eyes on the actual game. But and I actually think he could do those different things.
Are you gonna put your money where your mouth is, James? $100 turns into 4,100. Whew.
I don't like the odds.
Yeah,
Not the odds, excuse me. I don't like the payout. Like the problem isn't like what gets me is the reason why I do parlays. It's because of the pressure it puts on me too. Like the closer I get to it, they gotta ask me, hey man, would you accept this? And then I'm like, nah, it's not enough. I want to be able to put $2 down and win 100,000. Like that makes me feel like I'm alive.
For real.
The other thing, and then it's just too long. Like I don't want to pay $100 today for the potential to make $4,000 in January.
Now you're thinking of also injuries and how long
Yeah.
the season is.
Mm.
He's a human, and we haven't even seen him.
That's the truth. I want to be able to see him do that, get there. Now, it's a bet here that plus 155 for the Jags to just make the playoffs.
I like
See,
that.
but that's just even. I wonder, can you parlay this into other shit?
I can do.
What if I pick the Jags? You know what? I wonder if I made a pick like, let me see if I can just do something crazy. Cowboys, Panthers, boom, Saints. I just want to check something, see if I can. Oh, it won't let me parlay them. Oh, that sucks. If I could parlay it, it would be better. But yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at some of these futures for the NFL on Hard Rock as well. And yep, Jaguars to make the playoffs plus 155. But James, the odds have recently gone up for that Travis Hunter deal. Now it's plus 5,000 instead of plus 4,000. So it's creeping on up there, man. It is definitely creeping on up there. But we got to move on. So Aaron, Donald, and Jared Verse actually did partake in the workout. Jared stepped into the gulag and he regretted it. Let's just say that. So we got a video of them right here. Let us know what you guys are thinking because you will see him start to deteriorate shortly.
Fact. We can move. You hear me? Push yourself.
gotta get all the way up, Jared.
I wonder if he's had training.
Aaron Donald?
Yeah, he got
No way.
Yeah, for real.
He's like 265, 270 right now. He's not at 300.
Control your body.
Well, it's not even so much that. It's just you can just look at the way he's cut up.
Yeah.
Like he looks the same size as Jared Verse.
You ask and you shall receive, and he received that work, man. He received that work. Whew. I couldn't imagine what their full workout consisted of, man, because that man, Aaron Donald, is a workhorse, and he is cut up like a horse, too, might I add. He's, man, one of the scariest players of this generation, man, for sure.
Too early, man. We needed another year.
He's still, look at you. He's still working out like he's getting ready for something.
Hey man, he said that body, man, and he got his chip. He got his chip. That's all he can ask for, man. All he can ask for. Speaking of getting that chip, this quarterback, one-time Super Bowl winner, has been making headlines as Aaron Rodgers, recently signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
Trying to get Mike Tomlin up out of there, James, like you mentioned. So we're going to get into the facts of this. So he signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers ahead of minicamp, and we're going to get into the contract right here. So he signed a 1-year $13.65 million contract that includes $10 million guaranteed and has a maximum value of $19.5 million. So the deal includes $5.85 million worth of playtime and team performance incentives. So Hard Rock PR, they did their little thing, commenting that the Steelers' odds to win the Super Bowl did not change before and after acquiring Aaron Rodgers. So they had to throw a little jab in there. So let's get into some of more facts associated with this. So Aaron Rodgers will now play these teams as a Steeler: the Packers, his former team; the Bears, a team that he's part ownership of; the Jets; and everybody was speculating he would go to the Vikings, but they're also playing them on the Steelers schedule as well. So James, when I first saw this, I immediately got a jump scare, but man, this offense is straight poo, man. You got Caleb Johnson, Calvin Austin III, Aaron Rodgers at QB, DK, Robert Woods, and Pat Freiermuth. I have no high expectations for this group right here, James. What about you?
None at all. I just the Dog Pro top 32 offense is hilarious, dog.
Yeah, this says weapons, but I don't know what type of weapons they're referring to. It's like in like water guns or something, man, because these not no real weapons.
If Aaron Rodgers looks like Buddy from The Walking Dead so much more every day. Aaron Rodgers, I remember when we first started in media, and this was before Bron. When we first started, it was Bron hadn't really done it yet. Yeah, because it was 2024, so he was just getting most of his stuff. Like he was just about to get into the Bron where he was winning more championships with the Heat, won the one with Cleveland. We used to say Aaron Rodgers is the LeBron James of football. Like, not because Aaron Rodgers is a terrible person. He's more the Brett Favre now. But like when LeBron won his one championship, at first, everybody was just like, damn, he's good enough. He's one of the best, but he just never won anything. And like Aaron Rodgers is and has been one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He just only won once. And more I don't think anybody's ever milked one Super Bowl better than him, because he should have been like, nobody should be putting up with this shit. I wouldn't. I just don't. But again, I think the Steelers are just trying to figure out how to get rid of Tomlin. And my dog sold all out for Sierra's husband, and it didn't work for him. So everything has to come to an end.
Aaron Rodgers and LeBron James, both 4-time MVP winners in their respective sports leagues, James. So it's funny that you brought that up because they have that same type of accolades. But obviously, LeBron went on to win 3 more championships. A lot of people discount the bubble championship, but those aren't real basketball fans. I'm not talking to them because they don't know what they're talking about. But away from LeBron, King James, we got some more things to discuss. So Aaron Rodgers will wear number 8 while he's playing in Pittsburgh. So this is also broken by Adam Schefter. So wanted to include that as well. And James, I don't know if you saw this post, but man, they went on a retreat, man, and AI is getting out of hand.
Oh wow.
This is Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers AI image of them doing their ayahuasca retreat before
On them shrooms.
on worse than stronger than shrooms actually, but yeah, they man, AI is just, man, this is why we need it, man. Stuff like this is hilarious. Stuff like this.
Yeah, no, that's not a good picture of Aaron. Yeah. Now the one to the right is a really good picture. That's a good picture. But even now that you zoomed in on it, it looks less like Aaron right there. But the first one, like, that don't look nothing like Aaron.
Who's that?
Just a random white guy with a hairy chest.
But nevertheless, congrats to Aaron because you getting paid, man. You are getting paid, and a lot of people would die for that salary. So, man, kudos to your agent, kudos to your management team for getting that 1 year, $13.65 million deal. So, James, with Aaron Rodgers being the new Steelers quarterback, we got some stats to discuss. So, first things first, Lamar Jackson is the only AFC North starting QB without a Super Bowl appearance since Rodgers is now in the AFC North. You obviously have Joe Burrow with the Super Bowl appearance against the Rams, Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, and Kenny Pickett. Wow. I'm still mad at Mark Andrews, man. Still mad at Mark Andrews.
Messed my dog up.
But we got some more things to discuss with the AFC North. So this was yesterday, and we got the division winner odds right here, James. So based on these odds right here, we have Baltimore coming in at top with minus 145, the betting favorite. Then the Bengals coming in second place with plus 230. The Steelers with plus 550, and the Browns coming in at number 4 with that plus 3,000. James, if you were a betting man, would you take that minus 145, or would you go with the Bengals at plus 230?
Bengals not beat. The AFC North winner will be the unless something happens to Lamar, the Ravens are winning that. They're better overall than any of those teams.
And did you see Adam Sandler send a video message to Derrick Henry saying that if he gets 2,000 rushing yards this season, he'll be in his next movie? So, man, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
That's some money right there.
Yeah, that's that generational money, man. So, man, the Ravens, it might be their year this year, man. I'm hoping they can really change the game, take that next step into that playoff / Super Bowl year. So next we have one more thing to discuss with the NFL before we get into the big games BS segment. And since we're surrounding this talk with playoffs, we're going to take a look into some teams with the longest active playoff drought. So you have the Jets with the longest active playoff drought with 14 seasons. Next, you have two teams who are tied with the Dirty Birds and the Panthers in 7 seasons, the Bears with 4 seasons, as well as the Colts and Saints. So, James, what team do you think will end their drought this upcoming season?
AFC North, Jets, Patriots.
That's the AFC East.
That's what I'm. Wait a minute. They're the
AFC
AFC East. You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Patriots.
Yes.
South, Falcons. Shit, 3 of the teams in the South.
Yep.
All right, Colts and Bears aren't getting in.
For sure.
If I had to pick, I would say the Panthers or the Jets. The reason why is because when I'm looking at most conferences are going to have two teams go. Obviously, I think was it 7 playoff spots each side. 4 teams. One team is going to obviously be the better. That's getting the bye. The other teams got to play each other. I don't think the Bills. I think the Bills are good, but I don't think the Patriots or the Dolphins are that good to where the Jets couldn't rally to beat them. I think the NFC South is probably the both Souths. The NFC South and the AFC South are 2 really bad divisions, but nonetheless, they're 2 divisions that could probably get 2 teams in if they need it. And I don't think Tampa Bay is as good as what I think. We like the idea of great value Johnny Manziel, and what's my guy's name, and Baker Mayfield.
Whoa. He did good last season, though.
He did, but that guy is in Jacksonville now. His offensive coordinator.
True.
So who's going to be the quarterback in the
New York, Justin Fields.
Okay, so he will be starting.
More than likely. And Justin Fields I think Justin Fields is getting a really bad rap because he just keeps getting bounced around. He went 4-1 with the Steelers before Sierra's husband took over.
Oh, really?
Like they were good, and then they just put him in, and then they didn't let him throw the football anymore. Like he just was like a runner.
Tyrod Taylor is still in the league.
Hey, man.
That needs to be a game. He plays for the Jets. Wow.
Yep, but shout out to those teams. Hopefully they can end their playoff drought. So we're going to move into the big games BS portion of the show where we bring the scope of conversation outside of the typical football realm in which we discuss. So first things first, James, I know this restaurant had the city shook up because a lot of people in Jacksonville were excited to try Dave's Hot Chicken. Did you ever have Dave's yet since they opened in Town Center?
That's here?
I've never even heard of it.
I just heard of it because of the light-skinned motherfucker that just got rich off of it. But like, is it good?
It's have you had Cane's?
I don't know what
it's better than Cane's. It's better than Cane's.
It's chicken tenders.
Oh, why do people chicken tenders are for children? Chicken fingers, chicken tenders, they're all the same. Chicken nuggets.
Here's where I don't like. I've had Raisin Canes before. It was Trey made me get it. After one of them trips, I forgot where we were going. We were coming back from some shit, and he was just like, "We're in Daytona. It's in Daytona. Like they have one right there." And we got it, and I was not pleased. And all they sell is chicken tenders. I was like I was kind of thrown off. Like I thought it might be more.
I want some drums, some wings.
But no. What I mean is, it's chicken tenders, and they'll give you bread, but there's no chicken tender sandwich.
Oh, that's
there's
crazy.
no nothing else. It's chicken tenders and fries. I got to do the work, but like I want you to do the work. Slap some lettuce and tomato on Guthrie's. At least will make me a chicken tender sandwich. But I'm so loyal to Guthrie's, dog, that I can't. None of this shit means anything to me. But is it better than Zaxby's, Jada?
Dave's.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it the a little bit of an edge. So it's different than Cane's because the quality is definitely better. Like it's seasoned first of all, so like you can pick your spice level on there.
Okay.
I saw
So
somebody really rip Raising Cane's that just like
yeah,
said they. I don't even remember if the chicken was seasoned or not. I was just so upset that I spent that much money on it. The sweet tea wasn't sweet tea though. I was mad about that.
Is it better
yeah.
than Hardee's? Hardee's.
I haven't had Hardee's chicken tenders in a
Hardee's
minute.
is
Man, chicken tenders, they got it locked.
Hardee's is unlike Arby's, which I'm glad is finally folding.
Y'all need to stop with this.
Yeah, have you seen all the Arby's are closing now?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like that one Arby's on Bay Meadows had been around since before segregation. Like desegregation, like it finally closed. But the food at depending on what you get at Arby's, it ain't bad. I can see, like I'm hungry. Everything else is full. There's no line at Arby's. I'll go get a roast beef sandwich today. I could do that. Hardee's is like really good,
and nobody
goes there. Like Hardee's has better burgers. You get more meat. Pause. They've got biscuits and gravy. They got the little big ass hash brown, the little hash rounds.
I've only had chicken tenders there, and they're good. I don't even love chicken tenders.
Hardee's just has real old country women in the back making biscuits, dog. Like where they do that at, but nah, Dave's Hot Cakes. So where is it in the town? Is it in the town center? Like, is it like a drive-through?
So in town center, no, it's not a drive-through. It's just a standalone brick and mortar. But it's a little bit more pricey than Cane's, and because of the quality, and it's a little bit less quantity, I would say, than Cane's. So like, they have like a chicken sandwich, but they have like 2 tenders and fries you can get as well. They got like loaded fries as well, but it's only chicken tenders or a chicken fillet with the sandwich and everything. But anyways, with that being said, they were recently sold to Subway's owner for $1 billion. They have a lot of famous investors in Dave's. Drake was the light skin you mentioned. Samuel Jackson's also an investor as well. I saw a video clip of him talking about his ROI on that. But yeah, they're killing the game, doing it the right way through social media, start branching outwards. They started out in California and went east. So man, that $1 billion is crazy, and they are acquired by Subway's owner. So
I don't know.
Subway's terrible.
Yeah, I want to like. It's not because of Jared like that. I don't fuck with him. I just stopped eating Subway one day.
Gross subs. It's just like.
But what I'm saying is, Subway at one point was it?
Was it?
I loved Subway at one point.
Subway eat.
Ugh. But like now, I just couldn't. Like, I think once they started putting them in gas stations,
that should have been.
I just like I can't fathom going and like
it's never a nice one either.
Yeah, like so now Subway is Dave's Chicken is gonna go the way of Subway.
Forget all that. Everybody needs to eat at Jason's Deli.
Jason's Deli is man.
That slipped on, boy.
Jason's Deli is good.
Potato salad on my burnt tip sandwich.
That's wild. Jason's Deli is the one. That's the one over there in the town center. In Tinseltown?
Yeah.
So like they used to have more. Yeah, they used to have more of them.
Really?
Yeah, they got like they do like the potatoes too, right?
I've only gotten the sandwiches.
Like they got like muffalados. They got like all kinds of sandwiches though. Again, I like a good ass cold cut. Like Schlotsky's Deli. The reason why it was a place Schlotsky's, just the name sounded like they got to make good sandwiches.
Yeah, for real.
but nah, that's I don't know if I gotta get out of my car. I don't know if I want to. I just want to drive through chicken tenders. I don't want to feel like this is too formal for chicken tenders.
Yep. So we're going to talk about some basketball. The NBA Finals recently kicked off with the Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder at OKC. down to the wire. Game 1, Tyrese Halliburton made a shot with 0.3 seconds left. That gave the Pacers their first lead of the entire game. So teams were 0-182 in the NBA Finals entering Thursday when they trailed by 9 points in the final 3 minutes of an NBA Finals game. This is a fact that's been happening since 1971. But the Pacers and that man right there, Tyrese Halliburton, changed history and got that first win for that statistic right there. So it was a crazy game, and you see why he's one of the top clutch players in the league. Did you watch the game, James?
No, I just seen the clips, and I just think the funniest thing, that they do is they've been calling, like, was it Halle Bam, Halle Bam, and then it's another. What do they call the other one?
Shisis.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and they were like, somebody put, like, because they're playing OKC, right?
Yeah.
It was that game 1 or game 2?
Game 1.
So I saw the post, and they said the last time they put real time footage of what he just did to the Pacers building, like, and it was the Oklahoma City bombing,
Oh my gosh.
and that's awful.
Right. I guess enough time.
But creative, because they're calling these, like, again, like, people are like, oh, now it's too far. Not calling him a terrorist wasn't like far either. Like, it's the nature of dark humor and American comedy on social media. Like, we're talking about bad stuff, and for people who, like, it's enough time has lapsed. Unless that person has somebody that really meant, like, if you're offended and because you had a family member truly affected by that, then all right, you're a small percentage of the world that should get offended by this. Outside of that, bro, like, that shit's hilarious. Sorry, people make fun of slavery now, so, like, they tell us to forget it. Like, hey, but that's just I'm here for the memes. Was the game good though, Jaden?
Yeah, yes, that's what I was wondering, because that shot was their first lead of the game with 0.3 seconds left. So they the Pacers had 24 turnovers during the game, but were still within the means of winning during the game. And the Thunder shot sub 40% from the 3 and from the overall field. So leaving Indiana to get that chance to come back in their squad, is very relentless. Got Pascal Siakam, former champion with the 2019 Raptors. He's the only champion on that squad, but it was a really good game. And Lou Dort, he's a player you would like. He's on the Thunder. He's made the NBA All Defensive First Team. He's a 3-and-D guy, so he's one of my favorite players. He's a dog on the court. He had like so much steals, so much deflections, and it was a great game. And also too, make sure if you're Floridian to watch the NHL Finals with the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. There was a game on last night, went into double overtime. The Panthers got the dub, so the series is now tied 1-1. So huge shout out. Hopefully the Panthers get the back-to-back championships, bring it back down south in Florida. So huge shout out to them as well. Yep, it's a USA versus Canada rivalry. So shout out to the USA for that one. Shout out to the USA. Next, speaking of USA, this girl today recently made history, man. Huge shout out to Coco Gauff for becoming the first American player to win a singles title at the French Open since Serena Williams in 2015. The 21-year-old won the championship today, won the French Open. And man, she was super excited. She won the US Open 2 years ago. And fun fact, I found out about her, James, her mom ran track at FSU. So did not know that until today, but
Yeah, I
it's a
went and
small
looked at
world.
her social media. I don't remember her. But I don't know if she was there before me or not. Dad played basketball at Georgia State. I watched it. I watched that. That was intense, man.
Yeah, it
She
was
was
good.
putting that. I don't know. I think she was Russian.
She's
She was put that-
she's from Belarus, so it's near Ukraine and Russia. But yeah, Sabalenka.
she was putting her through a blender, dog. Like she was like folding. But like I was in that thing watching it like an old uncle. Like I was like I ain't like that. But it's crazy because if you know human body and movement and sport, like I was like, oh yeah, she got her. All right, that was a bad move. Like, but just some of the shit, it was impressive though. Like she really got in that white chick's head, or that Russian whatever, got into her head, and I'm glad she won. First in Serena. I like it, man. Little chocolate girl out there doing the thing. Coco. I had to call my grandmother. My grandmother is a big tennis fan.
Yeah, she's only 21 years old too, so sky's the limit for her for sure. For sure. Next, the last thing we have to discuss today is for all the superhero slash Marvel fans out there, because Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther and the critically acclaimed recent movie Sinners, revealed on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast, Carmelo Anthony's podcast, if you did not know, that Denzel Washington will star in the upcoming Black Panther 3 film. So for all the Marvel lovers out there, for all the Denzel lovers out there, he will be making an appearance in Black Panther 3.
He's a little old, but
I don't know what is he gonna be.
Maybe if they go like they go back in the past, kind of look at T'Challa's father. He could be T'Challa's father.
Well, no, I mean T'Challa had a dad. He got blown up.
Yeah, I mean if they go in like when he was young.
Dang, they're gonna recast the dad?
That's what I'm saying. No, they can't. They're gonna recast Charlotte. Don't recast. Well, I definitely don't remember him. But don't recast the dad, and we can't get Angela. Or if they really want to do some Tyler Perry shit, just Angela Bassett had to move on. Mama got to have a life too. So this is who she.
I mean, there has to be a role big enough for that for Denzel, right? You would imagine.
I'm just trying to think of the canon. Like, where would they go? Like, and what's crazy is Marvel has the comic books have so many different twists and turns and alternate. Like when they brought in the multiverse, there are multiple things that are going on. So there's a lot of stuff that they can kind of go down. But I'm just interested in what Coogler's gonna do. Because now that I've seen, Sinners, and it's not the movie, it's the fact that people like, again, the movie was good. It was really good.
Right.
The thing that I messed up on and what I shouldn't have done was wait so long.
So you start to get
like I need to watch it and get that first hype and not get the hype from everybody else telling me how great it was.
Yeah.
Because then it's like they tell you how great something is, and then you get it. And you're like, man, this is good. But like,
and then you watch reels, so you get a lot of the good catchphrases.
But I'm listening to these people talk about the catchphrases or just different things. It was something that went over in the gay the gaydar society we live in. Something went way over everybody's head and nobody really just pressed in on. I don't remember. I think it was Smoke. Smoke was the crazy one, right? Smoke is the one who ended up becoming a vampire, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And this is why I'm saying we gotta watch out for Ryan Coogler. He might be subliminal. You know how they say it's some gay shit and everything? I didn't know he was selling ass. They actually said he was selling ass. And they didn't like. And at first it was like, okay, maybe. Yeah, because he talked about with the white girl, right?
Yeah.
But the black chick, the thick black chick, is again, I like the fact that they made I think she was pretty, but a non-traditional woman, like a bigger woman, dark skin.
She wasn't skinny.
She wasn't skinny, but I guess she played in the other weird movie that was like this with werewolves and shit. Lovecraft, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't watch that. She said like they were talking about giving away like money and like these different and not taking certain, because during that time, if you lived on a plantation, there was a plantation store, they paid you in Plantation store cards, so that like that's how they paid you. You just go to the store, keep the money in house from the owners.
Okay, that's funny.
It was basically, it was just robbing these motherfuckers blind. But he was just like, when you were out there selling ass, would you take an IOU from a John?
Oh my god!
And I'm like, whoa, that was a scene.
I got to go back and see that.
And it's just like they showed it. I'm like, yo, all right,
that's
man.
Some AI. I don't remember.
I was like, yo, they got to really sprinkle it in everywhere.
Vampires are pretty gay though.
Oh, especially on True Blood.
Oh yeah, I mean, out of all the creatures of the night, vampires are probably the gayest.
Yeah. Indiscriminate. But since we got a little bit you said that was the last thing we had, Jaden?
Yeah.
Something that have you been paying attention to the Diddy trial now?
Yeah, I saw it was 50 Cent's baby mama was a Jane Doe, but I didn't want to get into but I did see that.
Bro, I know why 50 hates him now. It's not like the other. I always knew it was something kind of weird, and why nobody put like why is he just kind of just going after this guy? And I didn't know that part until this, but like, 50 used to work for Puffy too. He wrote some of his songs
for him.
Before, like, this was before he got shot and before he did all those other different things. I ain't realized, man. It's one of the harshest things that could ever happen, right? This is 50's favorite baby mama. We know he hates the one baby mama, right? Of his son that looks just like him. But this is the light-skinned son. This was 50 on the beach. This 50 in battle 50. Like, this is why it's tough to be a gangster rapper.
What was he? He's a photographer?
No, he's taking pictures of his girl, like just giving her wish. And he's like doing these pictures where he's running around, being cute, being romantic, like stuff that normal men could do, except for when you're 50.
That's a crazy
picture. Like this picture right here is crazy. He loves this woman. One of the biggest fears of every man, and I always try to tell women, is not so much that you're living your best life. You're not getting the man back. Our biggest fear is that we wasted time wifing a hoe. Like 50, right? Look at that. When Jeezy married, not Lucy Liu, who was the bitch that he married from The View?
I forgot her name.
I don't remember. I can't even think of her name. But Jeezy was driving down. I felt for Jeezy, right? Like, good. Like, I was hopeful for Jeezy because he was with a chick, and this is thug motivation. Jeezy driving down the Ave with the top down, singing "Can We Talk?" Like, just loving it, like singing good love songs with his girl, right?
Jeannie Mae.
Yeah, Jeannie Mae. Then she got divorced. They got a divorce, and I was like, damn, Jeezy actually loved this Asian woman. Jeezy had people really wanting to go get an Asian broad. Like, for how happy he was. Look at 50. You see all his teeth. He's relaxing. He's paying for this all expenses thing on his vacation and probably getting regular vagina. Like a normal person should. Puffy's paying for her to go on trips and giving her $10,000 to go to like the Turks and Caicos to have freak offs. And she called one of them she said she promised him an all-star. I was like, wait a minute. All-stars are the specials at Waffle House. Except for an all-star with Puffy is he picks the top 3 guys. And her challenge was to take down all 3 guys that night. And it's like 50 got a whole, like, that's your whole baby. That's your favorite child's mother. And this is what happens, man. Yeah, I'd hate Puffy too, dog. Puffy's diabolical, man. He needs to go to jail, but not for this. Unfortunately. But that's just, ooh, man. It'd be tough, man. No, I mean, it's tough when you gotta be a tough guy. You got pictures like this. Because this is a normal, lovely picture, right? You should want to take pictures like this with your girl. And you know what made it bad? because Ja Rule is looking for a way to come back. Ja Rule retweeted this, and we're like, no, Ja, you don't get to do this, dog. Oh man, definitely Fry Fest. But nah, man, that's funny, man. Oh man, yeah, this man was just. Yeah, gotta make it all kind of goofy faces. It's okay, 50, man. We all been there, dog.
That's all for today, James, and thank you guys for watching. Any last words to the chat, James, before we close out this weekend edition of Big Games BS?
Have a good weekend. See you guys on Monday. Appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me. We'll see you next time.